Welcome back, class, to our final recorded video where I'm going to talk to you and try to explain things the best I can, and you're going to do the best that you can to understand exactly what it is that I'm saying. But in shorter terms, I'm just going to show you guys a couple different font types, how to edit them, how to size them, how to place them, and how to choose good combinations that are going to have a better effect for your infographic. So if we look right here on the screen, I've got all these different examples. Some of them are what we would call complementary, where they are in the similar text family, like these two right here that's in Montserrat and Prada. They're similar when it comes to the actual grid layout of each letter. They're just dressed up a little differently. And then we've got some contrasting ones like this one right here, which is a Pissarro, and Poppins. They may sound very similar, but one is a little more exotic. Right here, we got this crazy X, A, all of it. Very different grid than this one right here, but they still work together because they're contrasting one another. So we've got complementary groups like these right here. We got contrasting like these right here. And it's really up to you what you want to use for your design. Keep in mind, if you're using more complementary textiles, you're going to have a cleaner look. It's going to be more focused in line. If you're using contrasting styles like these right here, it's going to be more popping out at you. So if you want to use contrasting effects like this, just keep in mind where you place your contrasting font. Like this crazy one right here, use it sparingly. The more that you have of these crazy, less organized fonts, the harder it's going to be to understand your graphic, the harder it's going to be to actually navigate your graphic. So use these sparingly. That's what I recommend. And in the case of this infographic, I only want you to use two different types of fonts. So you're going to have what we call our title font right here. We're going to have what we call our body font. Use this font whenever you're introducing a new idea in your infographic. So in the case of your worms, you could write the title of, hey, this is my worm infographic. Use whatever title name you wish to use. Talk to Mr. Langle about how you should title your infographic. And then for any of the body information, so anything that's longer than 3 to 4 words, like a sentence, you're going to use your secondary text right here, which is your body text. You're going to choose which fonts you want. That's totally up to you. I just ask that when you do, you have a rhyme or a reason to it. So by reading through some of these different articles here on ClickUp, watching this video right here, you have a better understanding of why it is that you're choosing certain types of fonts. Make sure that you go through, watch these videos, read this article right here, and if you need some more help too, I've got this whole article right here showing different groups of type fonts for you to use. But let's get into how to use Vectr. And this is probably the easiest of all of the different applications with Vectr. So let's say you want to write something on here. You're going to come over here to our text tool, just click, and you start typing. Let's go example title. And I'm going to start another one. So these will be separate text boxes. You want them to be separate so that when you go to edit them, you're not editing all the words in it. If it was all within the same text box, whichever font you choose for this is going to be the same as the font that you chose for that. So these right here are separate text boxes. We got this one right here. We got that one right there. Anytime you're starting a new idea, anytime that you're putting more information down, choose a new text box so that you can edit it separate from the one above it or the one next to it. So we've got our example title, we got our example, double click in here to get that, example, body text. And I'm going to change the colors right here like you would with shapes. Just going to turn it back to black. This one right here, turn this one to black as well. And let's go for a complementary set of fonts. So I'm going to line these up because we like to use a grid. Go over to here, and we can look through here. Let's look for something that's not too in our face. Go with Pelican. Since this is going to be a title font, we want it to be big. I'd say 48 point or bigger. Go 48. Let me adjust that. Let me grab this little guy. We'll move it down a little bit. This one uses a very basic grid for laying out the letters. Like you can see, it's similar to this one and this one here. And that one here, a little different from this. So we've got our example title, got our body text. We use Palanquin for this one. So you could go online and you could look to actually find pairs that would match with Palanquin, or you can just use your eyes, because your eyes don't lie. You know what you see. So we're gonna go over to Palanquin, and here you could do just normal Palanquin, where this is Palanquin Dark. And this is a great combination for a, not contrasting. Man, my brain is fried today, guys. So sorry. This is a great example of a complementary set of text fonts. Now let's do a contrasting. So just for time's sake, I'm going to copy this, paste it right over here. Copy that, paste it, drag it on over. We're going to do contrasting. I'm going to go through here, look through all my fonts. We're going to pick one that's just crazy and in our face. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like that. Sacramento. And that's like a cursive style font. Along with changing the font size right up here, you can also click on the box, hold the shift button, and drag it, and it will scale equally depending on where you drag it to. So go example title. Since this one's super crazy, we want to have one that's super, super simple. Contrasting, separate, different. NTR, that looks really simple. Ooh, that looks great together too. Oh yeah, that's a good combo as well. So, there is no exact science to this, okay? It's all about your own preferences. It's all about your own way of understanding this. I recommend you go around, you play with all the different fonts built in, because there are a bajillion. When I say a bajillion, I mean like probably like over 150. And that's a lot of different fonts. A lot of fun fonts for you to play with. So I want you to choose your own font, make your own font pair. Make me a board of at least 6 different font pairs like I have right here. Export this bad boy. Go to JPEG because we want a JPEG format. That way it's the easiest for my computer to read. There's a whole bunch of other different formats. We don't need to talk about formats yet. You could do that in a different class with me. But we've got JPEG format. Hit download. And then put that on ClickUp. Turn it in. You're good for this lesson. If you have any questions, make sure to ask me on Google Hangouts. Schedule an office hour with me. Utilize any time you can to talk to me. All right, good luck.